bright and good day in what I hope is going to be the last chapter in this saga of needless drama. We are going to start with the Government of Alberta website. And basically, what we're looking at, what is child abuse, neglect, and sexual exploitation? And the main thing that we're going to go to is the exploitation. Alright, now the main thing that we have here is the sexual abuse or exploitation. So sexual abuse happens when a parent or guardian exposes their child or youth to inappropriate sexual contact, activity, or behavior. This may include, the main thing we're looking at is the non-touching activities, such as having inappropriate sexual phone calls or conversations, making the child watch someone expose themselves, or showing them pornographic material. Now, this is important because I've already gone over the fact that the books that were originally brought to the attention of the government and asked to be removed from school, the 4 books, did have this pornographic material. It also was talking about very sexual things, including masturbation. So, the books that were asked to be removed met that criteria. The Edmonton Public School Board kind of went a little bit overboard and banned 200 books. Now, these 200 book banning caught the ire of Margaret E. Atwood, who wrote on an X.com post, "Here's a piece of literature by me, suitable for 17-year-olds in Alberta schools, unlike, we are told, The Handmaid's Tale. Sorry kids, your Minister of Education thinks you are stupid babies." So the only thing I would like to say to that is, sorry, it wasn't the government who banned your book, Margaret. It was the public school board themselves, using their discretion, who decided to ban that book. And it's not all public school boards either, because you see, I took the time to reach out to some of the other school boards around the province, and here's what they said. "Good morning, Austin. Thank you for reaching out with your question regarding the Ministerial Order 030-2025. Like many school districts, we had started the process of reviewing and cataloging our library collections, including classroom libraries, in accordance with the Ministerial Order 030-2025. We had not completed a comprehensive review or compiled a list of books to be removed, as the due date was October 1st, 2025, before the government directed the districts to temporarily pause all review activities while the government reevaluates the ministerial order. Our division remains committed to cooperating fully with government directives." So basically, all of the school boards were given until October 1st to go through all of their libraries and find things that were sexually explicit and should not be around children, using their discretion, of course. Edmonton Public apparently went through and had this done before the end of August. So I'm not really sure that they use too much discretion in deciding their list. And if we look further, now at the time I'm making this video, it has been 11 days since CBC Victoria, I believe it was, produced this video. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith criticized the Edmonton Public School Board for its banned book list featuring over 200 titles. See their intro here.
Hello, I'm Dan Burrett. We are live from Vancouver. A ban on books in Alberta is turning into a war of words. The Premier accusing schools of taking her order too far. You're watching Hannah Mansing tonight.
I think that we're seeing a little vicious compliance here. They've been overly aggressive at what they've put on there.
It is literary censorship, and we should use those words.
Now, once again, here are the 4 books. A quick little content warning, because even though the next few images are censored, they are censored for a reason. And I'm going to give you a warning, because I feel responsible in doing so. Here are some of the slides from these books that were banned and spawned the ministerial order asking schools to go through their libraries. Now, with all that being covered, we're going to take a minute and blind react to this 2-minute video about the updated ministerial orders.
A new chapter in the drama over books in Alberta schools, as new rules from the province narrow the scope of offending titles. The Alberta government now says materials containing any explicit visual depiction of a sexual act will not be available to students, such as drawings,
They should have
paintings,
never
or
been.
photos.
Any material that includes visual depictions of sexual activities, that's our concern and has always been our concern from the very beginning.
Written explicit content can stay on the shelves, so can anatomy books. The new rules come after CBC News obtained a list from Edmonton Public Schools of books it would have banned under the previous rules. Those included classics such as The Handmaid's Tale, Brave New World, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Edmonton Public is clearly doing a little vicious compliance over what the direction is.
On top of more specific criteria, the new rules now cover all grade levels. Reviews are mixed.
It makes no sense. I mean, first of all, as many of us know, our imagination is great. So to say that descriptions of sexual acts are okay, but visual depictions of them are not okay is a phony distinction.
Honestly, anyone who pretends that this is censorship is really saying that they should have the right to show sexual images to other people's children without their parents' consent.
That's 100% true.
Alberta
That
Premier
is what's
Danielle
going on.
Smith is walking a fine line to appease a broad base, says this political expert.
This could have been a lot simpler and less complicated and less public and less embarrassing for the government had they dealt with it in consultation with teachers and schools.
It isn't clear how many titles will be affected, but school boards must submit a list of books they plan to remove by October 31st, and those will need to be off the shelves by January 5th of next year. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
All right, pretty legitimate stuff, I think, actually. And yeah, that brings into huge question, as I've been saying, Edmonton Public School Board, what are you doing? Like, you guys are the folks doing this. As I've shown in this video, you can reach out to other school boards and find out that they did not do this. They were taking the time to actually use their discretion and make sure that their content was appropriate. Because guess what, folks? There's always been a guiding foundation on this stuff. Those 4 books should have never been in the schools to begin with. And if they were never in the schools to begin with, this ministerial order would have never happened. You know, you got to look at the foundation of what caused all of this and how it's being handled and by who, because these people are affecting our children. And that's a little concerning if you ask me. Anyway, if you like the video, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.